those points, does it? And Mr. J, hello. Long time no stream from me. It's been a while, and we've just shorted out. So hold on a sec. What happened there? Why did we short out? Usually caused by something on a point. Let's see, you stop. And reinitialize. Sorry about this, something just shorted out. I'm guessing it was my Steam loco that was going over the points just then. But it's difficult to tell. So this is the first time I've tried to stream something like this. How's the audio? I've got my main microphone on, but there's also the mic on the camera, which might make things sound a bit weird. I'm not entirely sure what it sounds like from where I'm sat. Let's get things rolling again. Saying it sounds fine? Cool. You know what, I'm going to get that goods train to stop while I'm trying to get the loco back into the yard, because I think it's shorting out on the point going in, so I'm just going to give that a quick test. Look. And of course now it's not moving at all. Okay, that shorted out. So why are you shorting when you go across there? I don't know, it really shouldn't be able to do that. I might need to take a look at that at some point. The Steam loco is really not happy going over this point here. I was running it over there twice and it shorted out for some very strange reason. Right, that does it short out going back into the loco yard though. It's a bit grumpy on the points, but it doesn't short out this time, which is very odd. Come on, keep going. Now get all the way back into your lane, come on. You keep stopping every time I wander off. Come on. Right, that is a bit of a weird one. And what I'm going to do is try and move this back. Because it's kind of blocking the camera's view of my new loco yard. Alright. Right, so for some strange reason that loco didn't short going backwards into the yard. Let's bring out another loco and see if that is happy. We want to bring out... Let's bring out the Western. Why not? That seems to be going over the points just fine. How about coming out? Yep, no problem at all. And there's another short out. What did we short on this time? What happened? Why are you shorting out? Okay, it shorted out on the point because it was slightly derailed. Yeah, the thing is that over here, this bit of track on the inside that goes into the loco yard is brand newly laid. It's only been up and running for a couple of weeks now, if that. And unfortunately, it still has a couple of little gremlins here and there. I think there is a kink in the track right about here on the map. In fact, I can point it out. It's about here. There is unfortunately a bit of a kink in the track right there, and some of my locos are not happy going over it. So I think at some point I might need to revisit the track laying down there, and then hopefully things won't derail all the time. Let's just move that one forwards a bit. About there will do. Right. Let's try this again. Our Western is currently sat here. We're going to bring him through the reception line onto the up line, and then we're going to shunt him back onto the coaches in platform 2. That way around. Yeah, this time we went over the points without shorting. Nice and easy through the junction. There we go. Change those points, we'll change those back. And there we go. Right, check route is good. Send him off on a few laps. Ideally with his coaches. Okay, we're a bit of a bump, but apparently he didn't connect. So just to give him a bit of assistance with the hand of God, shall we? Actually, you know what? I think I might turn the camera microphone off. I'm a little bit concerned about getting like 2 audio inputs going into the live stream, so I'll turn that off, see if it makes a lot of difference. And I think the Blue Snowball might be picking up the sounds of the locos anyway from here. But this live stream is all very much an experiment, so I'll probably be listening back to it afterwards anyway. Mr. J saying it's okay. Sounds fine on Twitch, that's cool. So how are we all doing this week then? Do we all make it through the heat wave alright? Not entirely sure I made it through the heat wave fine. I was melting. Yeah, very nearly hit 40 degrees over here, so it was warm. And also, the really bizarre thing about the heat wave is that it affected my model railway in some unexpected ways. Because on the Monday, where it was really, really hot, I tried doing a little running session on the model railway, and 3 points failed. This one, and this one. Just completely failed. They weren't responding at all. In fact, I don't know why I'm pointing at them with a mouse on the thing, because I've just realised the live stream isn't showing my mouse activity on top of the application, but never mind. But yeah, 3 of my points completely failed. Didn't respond at all. And I had absolutely no idea why. I had a look underneath, it all looked absolutely fine. Electrical current was going to where it was supposed to. They just weren't doing anything. So I didn't try to fix it any further than just having a look, because it was just too hot to work that day. So I decided I just decided to leave it. And then a couple of days later, without doing anything at all to try and fix the issues, those gremlins just disappeared. I tried the loud again and it was working fine. And as you can see now, those 3 points that were broken, they work absolutely fine now. So it was a bit of a weird one. Yeah, I mean, Mr. J sort of saying expanding track. It might have been expanding track. I don't entirely. I mean, I wouldn't have thought expanding tracks would have prevented the point motors from activating, but I don't know. It's weird. I have actually put in some track gaps for the rails to expand, so it shouldn't have been too much of a problem. But yeah, it's just on the hottest day of the week, 3 points failed, no apparent reason. Once things cooled down again, they work fine. So, I don't know. Maybe I just need to avoid running my model railway on hot days. You say you're just messing around with your servers at present. Ooh. Upgrading, or just servicing, or maintenance? I'm sorry if you guys hear me coughing, by the way. I'm still recovering from the Goodwood Vessel speed. I marshalled in the main paddock there, and there was a lot of crowd control, a lot of shouting needing to be done, and yeah, it destroyed my voice, and my throat is still recovering. So Fixing a list of outstanding issues, really. So just work then, huh? Alright, let's give the 33 a break. Might swap it for one of the 47s. Just uncouple it from the coaches. So I've still got to uncouple by hand. There's no automatic uncoupling system on this layout yet. I might put in some kind of uncoupling system there eventually. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. However, Hand of God works just fine, so... I'm also tempted to get a... I was discussing this with Mrs. Killicans this morning, actually. Tempted to get a second camera for these layout live streams, because, well, the one camera gives a nice sort of overview of the entire layout. However, it doesn't really give you a nice close view on the other end, where a lot of the action happens when I'm switching locos and things. And I tried setting up my camera over on the other end, but of course that's where the wall is, and we've got a bookshelf right next to it, so I couldn't really put it in an angle where it could see the entire layout. I could get some nice angles of the loco yard and stuff like that, but I don't know. If I'm really enjoying this layout streaming thing, I might invest into a second camera. Also on the list of gremlins that keep popping up, this point here doesn't seem to fully throw when I straighten it out again, hence why I just went to go and check it. I mean, it doesn't seem to be a massive problem, but there have been moments where locos have derailed on it because it hasn't fully thrown back across. And interestingly, that kink that I was mentioning in the rail back over here, the Class 33 is the only loco that just happily goes over that. Doesn't have a problem with it. It's like, yep, I'm fine with this. Most of the other locos seem to have a problem, but the 33 is just fine with it. So actually, why not? Let's put him in that one. And let's bring out... Bring out the 47. That's the one. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on this one as it goes around the bend at the back, because my 47s don't seem to like it very much, so... Well, you got around it without derailing. Wasn't the smoothest of transitions, but you got around it, so... Hey, and you covered yourself, nice. Oh, hang on. Sending you back into the goods yard, whoops. Always check your route before you send your train. There we go. So this 47 that's running around now with the large logo livery, that one was actually an eBay bargain. So I managed to save a bit of money off the list price, and it runs beautifully. Never had a problem with that 47. It's been a great runner. The 52 Western, which is the other train running around on the London Custard coaches. I've got to admit, I paid full price for that one. I bought it brand new. It also runs nice and smooth. Now the steam loco that was having some issues earlier on in the stream, the 280, that one was actually a bargain that I picked up at the International N-Gage show last year. Picked it up for just £35 because it was on the Dapol returns table. Basically factory returns that they didn't bother fixing, didn't bother looking at, just put it on the table at the exhibition, sold it for a bargain. Picked it up for £35. It runs, it's not the smoothest of runners, and sometimes it isn't very happy at super low speeds and it can have some trouble getting starting, stopping again, but once it's actually going, it runs fine. So I'm guessing just to try and fix the low speed and stop and start issues that it has, it might just need a service or a wheel clean or something like that. I'll have a look at that at some point. But that was actually one of 2 locos that I picked up at the International Engage show as well, because while the 280 was £35, I also picked up a Grange class. Which I'll show off to the camera right there. This Grange class I picked up was just £30, and the only thing that's wrong with it is that the tender is detached. The pickup wires between the boiler end and the tender have obviously broken off. It runs fine. The motor, not a problem with it. It is absolutely fine. I just need to fix the connection between the tender and the loco body. But otherwise, £30 for that loco. And there's no actual damage on the model itself. Excuse me. Oh dear. Who thought a live stream today was a good idea when my throat's still acting up like that? Yeah, so no actual damage on the model itself. It's fine. I just need to fix the connections between the body and the tender. So there we go. This is asking, so what's Engage like these days for DCC? It's been 20 years since I last took part in the hobby. Well, this layout is DCC. And Engage is actually really, really good for DCC nowadays. A lot of, well, pretty much every loco now that comes onto the market is DCC ready, at the very least. In the second-hand market, you've still got an awful lot of much older locos. Some of them can be converted to DCC, others not so easily. I do in fact have a couple of DCC conversions. This one here, my Class 170 DMU, that originally was not DCC ready. It is a DCC conversion, and I can in fact run it on this layout, so it does have a chip in it. A couple of other conversions I got are still in the box. I've got like a very old Minitrix Britannia and an old Graham Farish Duchess of Hamilton, both of which have been converted to DCC and run on this layout. I might get them out in a bit. They are in the box, like I said. And yeah, it took a bit of work to get them to get converted, but it works. I do also have a few other older locomotives, including an older Farish 37 that I intend to convert. It's currently DC at the moment, so it's not going to make an appearance on this layout yet. But hopefully I'll be able to convert that. Well, Seasoned Gamer is saying, never really considered Engage, was mostly a HO, but it looks really nice. The main bonus of Engage is that you can get so much more in such a small space. My layout here is literally just a pair of 2x4s end to end. So this is what, 2 foot by 8 foot? As you can see, I can fit a nice little loop around the outside of it. There is a loco depot that is at the far end. That's brand new. I've only had that installed for a couple of weeks now. And where the track sort of ends here, I'm actually going to be having a goods yard with lots and lots of sidings to park up all my wagons and things across the middle of the layout here. I don't know how well my mic can hear me from over there, but yes, the goods line is going to come off the end of the loco depot here. It's going to have one line that goes all the way up to somewhere around here, and then we're just going to have lots of sidings branching off that. I think 5 sidings are in the plan, I think, at the moment. So we should be able to fit enough on there. out of the way. So yeah, the Grange class is currently living on the workbench. It does need work doing to it, but like I said, it works fine. Just need to properly reconnect the boiler end to the tender. Alright, so we're going to stop the Class 52 when it comes around, and we're going to swap out some locomotives, I think. There we go. Yeah, that Western has had a fair few laps now. It's going to need a bit of cooling down. So let's give it a quick check. Yeah, it's feeling a bit warm now, so we're going to let it cool down. What are we going to do instead? Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my other 47 out for a run. Because my other 47 is actually a pretty new loco, and it hasn't really hasn't actually been running yet. So we're going to give that a bit of a run in. So I'm actually going to bring the other 47 to a stop because we want to do a bit of shunting and a bit of loco rearranging, and plus it could probably do with cooling down a bit anyway, so let's stop that one. Well Seasoned Gamer says, now I see where your TPF2 mods come from. Aha! I have an Easter egg on that one. Don't know how well the camera is going to be able to see the number on this. Let's try and bring it nice and close. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how well the camera focused in on that, but yeah. That 37 is numbered 37251. It's the same 37 in my Transport Fever mod. Right then, let's swap some locos around. So I'm going to switch that point, I'm going to switch that one and that one. And we're going to drive 37 round to the loco depot. There it goes. Check that that point throws properly so it doesn't derail. One of the things that I need to have on my to-do list for next time I'm sorting out the model railway, that one point there, that one, doesn't quite throw back fully when I'll switch it back to straight. And some locos do derail on it, so. But like I said, this whole section here is brand new. There are still a few gremlins that need to be ironed out, but that's That's just part of being, you know, just part of making model railways, really, isn't it? You always get these little gremlins that pop up. You need to test it and sort them out, and then you end up with a nice running model railway. So there we go, with him back in the yard. We can now bring out the other 47. So 47018. Like I said, this locomotive is pretty new and hasn't really been running yet. So we are going to give it a good few laps now. Let it run in. Let's bring it out of the loco yard, take it nice and easy and see if we can get it around the back curve, which again I need to try and sort out a little bit. There is a nasty kink at the back. Some of the locos are not liking it very much. Well, I got over that okay. Wasn't too big a problem. It didn't derail, so that's the main thing. And it's across the junction fine. Bring it to a stop in front of the camera. So here it is, my brand new 47, number 018, in rail freight grey, large livery. And I picked up this loco around late spring, I think. So it's fairly new, and since then the layout has not been in running order because I've been trying to fit all the new bits around the back here. So yeah, this loco hasn't really been run in yet. It's still pretty fresh out of the box. So yeah, we're going to hook it up to the oil wagons, and we're going to give it a few laps. And then after it's had a few laps in one direction, we'll put it on the other end of the wagons and let it have a few laps in the other direction. Here we go. Up to wagons. Let's set the route. We're going to have it run around the outer loop and then through the transit line because we do have our Class 52 with passenger train still in platform 2. So, we're pointing in the right direction. I can't see his lights from here. No, we are not. We are still facing backwards. So, switch direction and let's roll. There we go. And it's just left its rake behind. Whoops. Alright, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Slide you back, reconnect you. No, probably shouldn't do that too much. Pushing logos along on the track, but let's get it back there and let's have a close look at it going around the corner and see why it drops the brake and see if it does it again. Yeah, I can see why I did that. Alright, let's pause that for a moment. Right, so the reason why it seems to do that is that the couplings here seem to be drooping quite a lot. And yeah, it dropped them around the corner. So what I might do, this is always kind of an issue with 47s anyway, when they have the long couplings here, they get a bit droopy sometimes and they tend to fall off. So what I'm going to do real quick, I have here, is it this packet? No, it's not that packet. I have here a packet of close couplings. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some close couplings on my 47, see if that improves. I think these are all standard size couplings on these, so it should be fine with close couplings on it. Unfortunately, I haven't got any medium length ones left. Which would have been ideal. So, I think I've already used up all my medium ones. Also, I'm still not entirely sure how well the microphone's picking me up over here. If I start muttering to myself, I'm sorry. Just, not a great talker at the best of times. Even from my own live streaming experience, I'm not entirely used to speaking to a microphone across the room. That was kind of new as well. I'm going to do just the one coupling for now and see if that makes a difference. Alright, so it's now coupled up with the close coupling. Like I said, I'm going to do it on one end for now, and we'll see if that makes any difference. And if it runs happily enough and doesn't drop the wagons all the time, we'll do the same to the other end. Oh, there we go. It managed one corner without dropping its cargo, so instant improvement. Also, I think it looks better just, with a closer connection to its wagons. So now it sounds like it just derailed one. was an issue with the wagons themselves. Alright, so what happened on that one was the first wagon, for some reason around the back, was derailing its rear axle. And for a couple of laps, it managed to re-rail it again on the junction here. But on that particular moment, when I was having a really close look at it, it didn't re-rail itself. Well, it sort of derailed itself, but it also uncoupled itself. So I'll turn the wagon itself around and we'll see if that makes any difference. Nope. No, seems that's not going to work either. Oh well. Yeah, unfortunately, while the shorter coupling is a lot happier at holding on to the other couplings around the bend, unfortunately the short coupling is producing a bit too much strain on the wagon itself going around the corner and is dragging the rear axle off the rails. Like I said, an ideal fix for that would be if I had a medium length coupling, because a long one is just too saggy and it just drops the load. The short one doesn't drop the load, but is too short and is it's the, you know, the whole tension string issue on curves. You know, where you have a loose bit of string, but if you pull at both ends, it straightens out. That's what's happening on the wagons going around the back curve. And like I said, it's a bit too much strain on the wagon at the front, and then the rear axle on the wagon just hops off the rails. Like I said, an ideal fix for that would be a medium length coupling, but I don't have one, so yeah. Maybe if we use this one as a barrier wagon, but I know it's not vacuum braked, but let's give that one a try and yeah, see if that acting as a barrier wagon improves things. There we go, no problem. It's all because of my terrible track laying, you know. That's the reasons for it. So guys, who wants to see the HST running? So I'm thinking we could bring that out next. What do you guys think? Should we bring out the HST or the 170? HST or Turbo Star? Come on then, says Mr. J. HST then, is that your vote? Yeah, we could do that. But first we should shunt the Western back into the loco yard, I think. Because as easy as it is to just move it with the hand of God, let's try and avoid that whenever we can, shall we? I mean, unfortunately the Western's coach is just going to have to be lifted off the rails to make way for the HST. But if and where we can, let's try and avoid using the hand of God. So let's get this Western moved out of the way. Ooh. Lord Nick Flashheart Woof Woof just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Alright. Let's send it back up that road, actually. Before anyone asks why I'm doing this because Unfortunately, the Western does seem to have an issue going across the junction here. I'm not entirely sure why, and other locos don't seem to have a problem with it, but the Western does, so I'm trying to avoid sending it across the junction from this track. So what we're doing instead is we're going to send it up around this way and into the yard via that. Lord Nick Flashlight is saying he's having to watch Mute while in a work meeting, but a nice selection of locos now. Okay. Well, if you do rewatch the video later without the mute, welcome to the channel. And that is fine. To be honest with you, I'm more sort of doing this with the idea of people muting it anyway. There's no background music going on. And to be honest, I like watching model railway videos while muted, actually. That's actually something to do when I go to bed at night. I tend to just watch model railway videos without the sound on. Helps me drift off, you know. Take it nice and easy around the bend at the back. That seemed to be alright. There we go. And then we are going to... which lane is free at the moment? All the 47s were in, so that's the middle lane. We'll send it back into there. Why not? And while that's backing up, the 47 can run again, can't it? Yes. Yeah, that way around. Oh, I wasn't watching the 52, it just ran off the end of the rails. My bad. Number 18, yeah, alright, okay. Yeah, send it back on this journey. Let's go rescue the 52. Whew, it's getting warm in here. It's a really hot day actually. Well, not as hot as it was during the heat wave, but still getting warm. Use the shell wagon to barrier it on the other end. And then we can give it a nice run in the other direction. And that should be nicely running. Oh, I need to keep an eye on it because that's still got the long coupling on that end. Should be alright though with that little barrier wagon there. Yeah, that's doing fine, isn't it? Not a problem. Let's set the route for our HST and we'll send that off for a bit. Minor disaster, wagon fell off at the back again. Troublesome trucks, huh? Bit of a pity that those oil tankers are giving me some issues. Might have to have a closer look at them and try and fix whatever problem there is they're having, but again, the thing is, these wagons are still fairly new. They're Pico ones, and my dad gave them to me for Christmas. So I've only had them for, what, half a year? They are a lovely set of oil wagons, but yeah, I seem to be having some gremlins with running them. That's the way things go sometimes, unfortunately. Back to the origins of various trains and locos and things. This HST that you see running around. Sorry, I can hear a derailment. Yeah, the tanks are come off again. Alright, everyone stop. Everybody stop. Wagons are coming off again. Yay! Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh well. Yeah, these are giving me issues. Maybe we'll get the vans out instead, I think. Alright, let's get the HST going again. That's fine. So as I was saying, along with the origins of the trains and things, the HST Mr. J is asking, dual motorised power cars? No. The one at the front is the power car. The one at the back is a dummy. However, that dummy does have a DCC chip in it so that it can appropriately operate its lights. It does have red and white lights at the back. But otherwise the motor is only at the front. And I was about to say where I got that from. The HST came as a 4-car set. The two power ends. Well, I'll say the 2 power ends. One end has a motor in it, the other one's a dummy. But the 2 ends and the first class and the restaurant car came in the set. The 3 standard class Mark III coaches that I've added to this set, I actually had already. I had those 3 in my collection before I bought the HST, and I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, Those three added to the set quite nicely, actually, I thought. Does it perform? How does it perform in push mode? It performs fine in push mode in a straight line. It's not very happy pushing around curves and things like that. And the fact that it doesn't perform happy around curves anyway, but when you add to the fact that I've also put short couplings on some of them so that you got a closer, so it's closer between the two wagons. How to explain it? I've only put short couplings on one end of each coach, so they are closer than standard, but not close enough that it causes problems around the curves, shall we say. But because I've done that, it does have a lot more issues around corners than it usually would in push mode. With the loco at the front and pulling along, as you can see, it's fine. It's not having a problem at all. But only if I run it on the outer loop. The inner loop with the tighter curves, it's not happy with. And to be honest, it wasn't really happy with it, even with the longer couplings throughout. So, swings and roundabouts, to be honest with you. I can run the HST happily enough on the outer loop in pull mode, and it's fine. It's fine doing that. But if we mess around with anything else with it, if we start doing it in push mode, if we start doing it in push mode, or if we put it on the inner loop, then we get some problems. The HST is something that I have thoroughly tested. And it runs fine like this, so we'll leave it to it. Alright, shall we get some replacement wagons on? Unfortunately those oil tankers weren't terribly happy, so let's get the box open. Dun, dun, dun. My big box of trains. I'll show this to the camera quickly while I can. Here we go. Multi-layered box full of trains. Phone box and all that. Don't know how well the camera can see all that, but this is another little project that I've been doing a little while back, cutting the phone. In fact, I could show that on my Discord later. Doesn't really have to be shown now. But, I mentioned earlier on that I have a conversion project awaiting. There it is. It's 37 with split head code. That 37 with split head code I actually picked up from the International Lingo Show last year, along with the two steam locos that I mentioned earlier. As you can see, it's an older Faris model. It's not DCC ready. And I picked this one up again for 30 quid actually, because it was actually labelled as a non-runner at Tings. Brought it home, had a look at it. Turns out the only problem it had was a split gear on one of the axles. So I swapped out the axle for a new one with a new gear on it, and it works just fine. It's actually a really, really nice smooth runner. Nothing wrong with it now. However, as I mentioned, it is not DCC ready. It needs to be converted, and that is next on my project list. But otherwise, yeah, this 37 here runs just fine. It's a beautiful runner. No problems with it. Got it at a bargain at Tings simply because it had a split gear. As for other conversion projects, this right here is my Trix Britannia. That one has already been converted. It is DCC chipped now, and it can run on the layout. along with right here this lovely old Farish Duchess of Hamilton. That is also DCC chipped and converted now. It's quite happy to run on this layout. In fact, you know what? I mentioned earlier on about trying to avoid the whole Hand of God thing, but that's just... Let's just Hand of God the blue 47 back into the Lyco shed and put this on instead. And this, of course, is when I realised that I haven't actually added the Duchess to Rockrail yet. So let me just check my phone for its ID. It's number 229. Okay. We'll add a new locomotive. Add a new. It is Duchess Hamilton. And your ID is 229. No, not on that one. Yeah, right. And there she goes. Easy as that. So yeah, it's a little bit noisier than most locomotives due to its age, but yeah, there you go. There is lovely old Farish Duchess of Hamilton, DCC converted, running just happily on this layout. There it is. Beautiful. Coupling on both sides. Okay. Mind that one then. Another one. Train's getting too long. Let's take that one off as well. And we will put two red ones at that. Like so. Yeah, let's bring the Duchess to a stop. A nice little run now. Oh. I said bring it to a stop, I didn't mean that instantly. What happened there? No, I'm not liking that joint there, are you? Never mind. Right. The Grey 47 needs its running in the other direction now, so now it's got a new set of wagons. Let's hope it's able to take these around without any problems. Yeah, it's looking okay. I have to apologise that a couple of the ferry wagons here are not weathered yet. I've got two more in the box still that aren't weathered, so yeah, half of my ferry wagon collection is not weathered yet. I will get around to it eventually. Make them look a bit more like the others. How many things can we all say we'll get around to eventually? I'm sure everyone's got a to-do list like that. Mr. J's asking, have I ever seen Everard Junction? Absolutely, I have. I've met the guy actually. That sounds like something's derailed. It has. That's one of the vans again. Oh. Gremlins. Gremlins all over the place. Right, why did that happen? What did you derail? Oh, right. It's because I'm live streaming it, that's why all these problems are happening. If I wasn't live streaming, there'd be no problem. Such is the way. No, it's derailed again. I heard that. I heard it this time. It re-railed itself. Yeah, derailment's due to my awful track railing again. Awful track laying. But yeah, I've met the guy who is behind Everard Junction. He's a nice guy, actually. Oh, and the HST has just lost its wagons. What's going on today? Ah! Alright, stop, HST. Why have you lost your wagons? It dropped them on the straight. How did it do that? Oh, never mind. HST could do with a break now anyway. I think it's been running for a while. And oh yeah, it's getting warm. Alright. Break time. Let's swap you guys out. So yeah, I think the van's coming off. They're coming off around the back. I think they were not terribly happy with the alignment of the join between the baseboards. They were sort of slightly jumping over it, and that was causing a derailment. But they seem to be okay now. I've slowed the loco down a little bit, so they should be okay. Let me just check. Did I change the ID number of the 170? No, apparently I did not. No, it is still 55. That's fine. Alright, let's give the 170 a run. There we go. As I mentioned earlier, this is an older Farish Turbostar 170 in Southwest Trains livery. You don't get many of those. And yeah, this one was not DCC ready. It is a converted model, which is now DCC. Courtesy of my dad, that one actually. He converted that one for me. What was it I was also about to say? Oh yeah, about model railway YouTubers. Yep, like I said earlier on, I have actually met the guy from Everard Junction. I doubt he would know who I am, though. And I've also met the guy from New Junction. He was actually attending a model railway show laid on by my club, the Basingstoke show a while back, and he was there for Hornby. He was making an entire video about Hornby's visit to the Hornby's attendance of the Basingstoke Model Railway Show. Yeah, the guy behind New Junction. He also works with Hornby. So yeah, I've met him, and I've also met what was his name? It was Charlie from Chadwick Model Railway. Yeah. Encountered him a little while back as well, because my dad was taking his layout to a show. Where was it? Was it Bristol? Yeah, it was the Bristol Model Railway Show. Yeah, my dad was exhibiting his layout Freshwater there. I went to help him out for the weekend and be his co-driver. And while we were exhibiting there, I happened to spot Charlie wandering around the show. Said a little hello to him while he was there. Mr. J saying, "Oh, right, him. Yeah, just looked up New Junction. Yeah." Yes, him. He's a nice guy. But didn't really get to chat to him much because, like I said, while he was at the Basingstoke show, he was filming a video for Hornby, so you kind of had to leave him to it, really. You know what? There's a lot of production effort that goes into the Hornby videos. Actually, they often have more than one camera. It's sort of set up all over the place. Lord Nick Flasher is saying, lovely 170. I don't know if you're still muted, but thank you very much for saying so. That was actually a gift from the father. Like I said, it's an older Farish 170 Turbostar, but it's been converted to run on DCC, so... Pardon me. And yeah, it runs really nicely, actually. But it's a pity that the lights don't work on it anymore. Like I said, it was converted for DCC, but it's a very basic conversion, and yeah, as a result, the lights don't work. So, but it runs. That's the main thing. It's quite nice to just sit back and watch the trains go around, you know. Again, you have to pardon me coughing. My throat is still not quite sorted out yet. You try and keep drinking water. You should be drinking anyway during the heat of the summer. Alright, so there's only one thing left to run before it's time to call it the end of the stream. So I'm going to do a quick bit of shunting just to get this one ready to run. Because as it is now, it's set up the wrong way, so I'm just going to flip that around. Also, yes, 3 trains running at the same time. Woo! Things you can do with DCC, huh? Aw. Note to self, clean tracks before you run this next time. Especially if you try to live stream it again. Clean the tracks first. Where else? Yeah. Cool. Right. happy over that point with it. Come on. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, my fault. I might need to clean the tracks, I think. Right, yeah, managed it fine last time round. Let's do it again. No, no, it's not happy. Come on, you're managing fine round. Go. Oh dear. It is really unhappy. Come on. Oh. Alright, let's got that turned around. Oh, wrecking the place. You know what, that now needs to be shunted around to the reception. For some reason it's in the runaround. Okay, that's ready to go. So we are going to stop the 170 when it comes to platform 2. In fact, it's almost there already. Yeah, that's had a nice bit of a run. And we're also going to stop the 47. Because we need to shunt across the main line. There we go. Change those two. I'm going to change those two. Yeah, they're going to take. Nice run, now you can have a break. Mine should be all set, so let's bring out the last train that we're going to run for the day. So what we've got there. In fact, the wheels are rolling, but it's not actually moving. What you're stuck on? What do you manage to get stuck on? Come on. And a derail. It's not going well for me today, is it? Alright, let's bring you around here and then we'll hand all those last 2 wagons back on. Let's make that 3 wagons back on. Okay, hopefully that should run sensibly now. Right. Please give me a few clean laps, because the last thing I want to show off in today's live stream. So, number 37174 here is towing my birthday present, the nuclear flask train. Those 2 nuclear flask wagons and the 2 barrier wagons were my birthday present this year from my dad. I've had them for about 19 days now. And I forgot to set the route. Oh, goddamn. Points against it, it shorted out. My own fault. So who else can tell that we are coming towards the end of the stream for the day, huh? Dear oh dear. Mr. J is asking, what's the software that I'm using for controlling it? This is Rockrail. There we go. Right. Let's get this going again. Now that the route is set properly, because I can't believe I forgot to do that. But yeah, the software that I'm using is called Rockrail, and it is connected to the Z21 DCC command system that I've got. The Z21 was primarily designed to be controlled off of an app that you can use on your phone or on a tablet or whatever, and I can actually drive this layout using my phone, but because it uses LocoNet, it turns out you can also hook up your PC to it and control it with Rockrail. But I'll just show you here on the camera. There you go, there's the app on the phone. You got all of your points mapped on there, and then you've got your throttle. You can like pick a loco from the bottom here and then drive it around. In fact, if I just show you here, if I select the 47 that's still on the track, you might be able to see it in the background. Yeah, which direction is it? There we go. If I do that, you can now see in the background there the 47 is now moving, and that's my phone driving it. So there it is. App on the phone. Drives on the railway. Phone at the moment is driving the 47. Whereas the PC is driving the 37 at the moment. Confused yet? Because, you know, it can get confusing. I think the camera's too low to really show it properly, but if I put it there or something, if I then hit the stop button, and the class 47 stops. And that was my phone that was doing that. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome system, I got to say. You know, because in order to, you know, show how I'm controlling it, I can just, you know, fire up Rockrail on the PC, drive it off of this. But if I'm not videoing or streaming it, I can just drive it off my phone. Don't even have to switch the PC on. So it is a really awesome system, and I do like it a lot. But something I do need to mention before we end the stream is that my layout here does not have a name. It is as yet completely unnamed. So, you know, while you've got other model railway YouTubers that have already got names for their layouts or whatever and what have you, I don't have one yet. This layout is not named. I'm not very creative with names, so I haven't really come up with one. They're saying Lucar Junction. Maybe, I don't know. But as you can see, it is still heavily work in progress. Most of the track laying is done. Like I said earlier on, all I've got left to do is the wagon yard. You can sort of see from the track plan that I've got up here on Rockrail the basic idea of what was going on. We've got your 3 lanes down at the bottom here at the front of the layout. That's going to be where the station is. We're going to have a platform on both ends and a transit lane in the middle. As you can see, the transit lane can be used in either direction to go onto the main line. The main idea is that the down line here is going clockwise, and the up line goes anti-clockwise in the same sort of fashion that the British Railways actually uses, you know, driving on the left. So, you know, the up line is supposed to go anti-clockwise round, and the down line goes goes clockwise, and then the transit lane in the middle can go in either direction, and is used literally as a transit lane. I was kind of demonstrating that with the Grade 47 actually. When it was running clockwise, I was running it through the transit lane onto the down line, and off the down line. And then just a moment ago when it was running anti-clockwise, it was going around the up loop and just transiting through there as well. So that's what we have done on this side of the layout. At the back, you've got your main line up and down running at the very, very back of the layout. And then we have a loop coming off that, which is like a reception lane that goes into the goods yard, with a runaround loop and a little head shunt just at the end here. As you can see on the layout, the head shunt is where the buffers is at the back. Should be able to see that where the camera is. And then from the reception lane to the runaround loop, you've then got a loop that runs all the way around the back and then comes into what will be our freight yard. This point is in fact present at the moment on the layout. It is right here. And from this point the plan will be to run a straight line up here with goods with wagon yards coming off of this. I think the plan at the moment has 4 wagon yards coming off that and a decent length head shunt running straight on, which on the layout will end about here, probably where the blue pen is. We've already got a little straight bit of line there that's not actually fixed down, but it's acting as a head shunt to get into the loco depot at the moment. But this line will extend out to about here, and then, like I said, we've already got the first point in for the goods yard right there. There will be more along this line here, so that we get more goods lanes branching off there. I think, like I said, I think 4 of them is on the plan. There might be 5. I'll have to check the plans. But that's all there is left to do. The loco depot up here is already all down. It's all working. And then I just need to paint my tracks, ballast up, and then do scenery. The plan is that the 2 loops at either end of the layout, as you can see there, you can see on this end of the layout where the camera is, the track weathering and ballasting stops. And that is because these loops at either end of the layout are going to be covered in scenery, going to have a tunnel at both ends. And the plan is that we're going to have a tunnel mouth about here and another one over here. So this whole curve is going to be covered under a tunnel, and this little bit of track just in front of the camera is actually my programming track, so that is not going to be covered by the tunnel. I will still need to access that so that I can program any new locomotives that I buy. So yeah, that's my layout. N-gauge, DCC controlled, for the most part working. There's still a couple of little gremlins I need to iron out. And yeah, and if this live stream today really worked out, maybe we'll do more. Maybe I might even document the progress of this build from now onwards on my YouTube channel. I've already got a couple of little videos on my YouTube channel showing showing how the layout works. There is one that shows the point system that I'm using, the servo motors in action. So yeah, go check that out if you've got a moment. It's a very, very brief description of how it all works, but that's the same sort of system that I'm using on all of these points, and there's quite a lot of them on the layout already, as you can see from each yellow mark on the map here. So yeah, I think we're going to probably call it a day there. We've been streaming for about almost 2.5 hours now. So thank you guys for hanging out with us for a while. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the new subscriber that we had up here. And I will see you next time. And yeah, I quite enjoyed this, so I'm pretty sure there will be a next time. Alright. See you guys later. Cheerio.